Here from DeltiaGaming.com, back with 1.6 PTS early build ideas and thoughts. I've spent a week really spending a lot of time, probably 40 hours, testing each build for each class. I got one for the Dragonknight, Nightblade, Sorcerer, Templar. Now, 2 of them are stamina, 2 of them are magic. You can feel free to change these as any way you want. Remember, these aren't final, and this isn't the most effective PvE endgame thing, but what these builds are designed to do is be good at PvP and maybe soloing or leveling. You know, self-sustain, be able to heal yourself, do damage, and survive, which is the most important thing to do. So this is what I found to be pretty effective so far 1 week in on patch 1.6 on the PTS, public test server. So things will change. Let's start with the Dragonknight first. It's Deltia here on the Butcher, my stamina-based Nord Dragonknight. This build is basically a two-hander and a bow setup, focus a lot on stamina. I'm going to go over the abilities real quick as we get in here and show you how to use it. Remember, this isn't a full build video, so it's going to be quick and dirty. Critical Rush, you rush in, always crits, hits like a truck, or very hard. I like the forward momentum morph instead of rally now because it removes snares, especially good for PvP or leveling if you need to get to a target with Critical Rush. Green Dragon's Blood, there's no soft cap and it's a good self-heal that a Dragonknight needs if they're in trouble. Love that ability. Brawler, welcome to the new OP ability in 1.6, which is damage absorb bubbles. You're going to see how this works and why it's so powerful. It's because it stacks on top of each other and basically prevents your health from dipping as long as you have a lot of enemies. Number 2, Executioner. It's your finisher, and it also makes every ability that's a two-hand ability and finisher too, meaning Brawler, meaning Critical Rush. So this is super important to use. Furious Leap is a major knockback damage dealer and also 106% damage bubble now, so it's super powerful. On the back bar, I'm using the Master's Bow Unstoppable. This is for PvP, so if you're not playing PvP, swap this ability out. Venom Arrow is a good damage over time, I like that. Igneous Weapons makes my heavy attacks hit like a truck or very hard, and I know you guys love when I say that. But this is what makes a two-hander shine, is keeping this ability up and doing a heavy attack every 8 or 10 seconds, kind of like while you're light weaving. You can get 20k damage on a heavy attack. So stop saying Dragonknights are terrible. They're not. Lethal Arrow. There's no way the Dragonknight inherently has a way to heal debuff a target, and in PvP you really need to find a way to get that major defile on a target. This is why I use Lethal Arrow. The damage has been nerfed significantly, but it's still a 1-second cast and I like it as an opener. Fossilize, I really like this now. People hate it, but it's a 15-minute stun that mezzes targets, so you can kind of lock down a target, and I'll probably show you how that's done. Corrosive Armor, people hated this change, but guess what? 100% armor pen. That's right. So if you're dueling or you're fighting someone that has like unstoppable blocking, they're all heavy armor, this is what you can do to nuke through them. So let's show you how this is done and what I do here. Like I said before, let me make sure I eat food. This isn't a full build. This isn't a full guide, so I'm not going to take my time and show you all this stuff. Oh, did I already kill some? Oh, I got a Spirit Stone. I went in here before. Weird. Get my rally up. We know the archers here in Kardla aren't fun to deal with, so we're going to get them. Look at Brawler, 100% health. So Brawler and that Furious Leap keeps my health up. I also dropped Vampire and went Werewolf. Not on 1.6 because I don't have a Werewolf bite, but on live I did. I've been testing this on live too. It actually works pretty good in PvP still in live. Get my Brawler up, get that little damage shield, nuke you, nuke your little bubble, Furious Leap, sprint to him, boom! It's just amazing. Look at how fast this thing is, dude. Alright, where's that archer? These archers always kill me in here. I look like an idiot. Leap. So keep on these damage bubbles. Remember, light attack now is really important. That's how you generate ultimate. So keep on light attacking. I pop and rally when I need to remove snares. Heavy attack. Let's see how hard this heavy attack hits. Igneous Weapons. Boom. What was that? 7,000? A 9,000 Executioner, not bad. Alright, now we got a bunch of targets. Let's see how this build handles under pressure now. I'm going to find that archer because That guy will wreck my day. Okay, look at Brawler. Look at Brawler, people. Look at that health. Rally. I get out of that Dragons. No, you're not going to kill me. And heavy attack. Remember, it's an execution. Boom! That's a 10k executioner into a 5k heavy attack. Look how powerful this is. So stop with the Dragonknight hate that they're terrible. With the two-hander, these things rock once again. And I love playing with the two-hander. Heavy attack. Brawler. I'm never running out of stamina. And I'm going to talk about the gear once this goes live and kind of give you the setup. I don't want to spoil it right now because it's still in the testing. Oh my god, heavy attacks hit so hard. And I don't have the gear that I do on live that actually makes this build shine yet. And you can do this thing here. Crit rush back, crit rush back. Boom! So a little bit better than our first time in Kardla, I think. Look how much faster the game is, too. It's just awesome. Now, I was using Wrecking Blow, but to be honest with you, heavy attacks hit so hard, I honestly don't even need to use it. So I rush in, instead of heavy, you can just heavy attack instead of doing the, or crit rush like this over and over, and just walk backwards. Light attack in there every 8 seconds. Red's bad, so we're going to peel back. Now we're getting close to that 25%. Rambo in, you will die, no problem. We're at 7k DPS. It's not bad for a PvP build. Boom! Look at that! 7,000 damage per second. Now, there were some ads, and it was only a 15-second fight. But this is the Dragonknight build that I came up with that I feel really powerful. And gear and build-wise, you really want to be about 24k HP is what we found out to be most advantageous. Parfax, a friend of mine, has been helping test this. And so I don't have the optimal gear yet because this is on the PTS, so I couldn't buy all my usual thing. I don't know why I'm looting bodies. That's the Dragonknight now in 1.6, the Butcher. My website has all the details and the skills, and more so than this video. So just a quick rundown again. Crit Rush, Rally to get out of the snares, Green Dragon's Blood as a self-heal, Stamina, Brawler as a bubble and a good damage over time effect, Executioner for an execute. We got Ferocious Leap to leap in and get that health bubble, and also Knockback. On your back bar is more of utility, so igneous weapons as you need for heavy attack when you're out of basically stamina or you're close in target. You got Lethal Arrow, Venom Arrow, rotate those in between, and stun as needed with Fossilize. Corrosive Armor is that oh crap moment, or when someone's just blocking forever and you can't kill them. That's the Butcher, and it will be more detailed once I get it released. When 1.6 release, I'll do a full blown out guide. Kardla on the Sorc, and this is my frag out for 1.6. No, I'm not using pets, though you can, and it's probably the best DPS in the game for a Sorc if you're doing PvE, high-end content, dungeons, trials. But what I'm focused on more so is PvP and soloing around, leveling, being self-sustained, and that's what this build really shines at. So we're back in Kardla. I don't want to bore you and go through the whole thing again. But what we do is we streak to stun people. I'm using Destructive Reach as an AoE, basically a range stun. Structured Entropy got a nice change. So now it procs that Major Sorcery, increasing your spell damage. Crystal Frag, we know that hits like a truck. Endless Fury got a pretty big buff to the magic gain, it seems like. So now it costs about 1,000 magic, gives you 3,000 back if you kill someone using it. So it's not only a free spell, but it could be really, really powerful. You use it to one-shot people or to get that killing blow. Devouring Swarm, this is the only character I still stay a vampire on. It's just too powerful AoE not to use. I love it. Back bar, immovable. Uncc'able in PvP is the name of the game, and I like this before I dive in with the streak and go Bat Bomb Brigade. So I like this. Now, if you're soloing around, don't use uncc'able because you can block and do other things to mitigate that. Empowering Ward, I'd go with Hardened Ward on the live server. Still experimenting with pets, so I still like that morph. Dampening Magic got a boost, so you basically get a spell absorb damage bubble more so based on this morph, so I like that. Healing Warders are only self-heal, and that's how we keep ourselves out without critical surge. And like you can use Power Extraction, the new morph, and do a lot more damage, but this is mainly surviving and doing damage at burst when the opportune time comes. Elusive Mist, it's our getaway tactic that we use besides Streak, waiting for this healing word to go off. And of course, Negate. I'm probably going to take the Absorption Field on live server, but this is still really, really powerful. So let's see how it plays out here. Usually the first ability I use is Structured Entropy, and boom! No, I'm going to line of sight you, sir. So, without a big self-heal from Crit Surge, you got to be careful on how you play this guy now. Make sure you get this archer. These guys hit hard. And with light armor, you're definitely going to be more squishy than you have been in the past, so don't think you're just going to go in and nuke everyone like we used to do with light armor. Got my wards. Streak is so cool. Give me that magic, baby. Healing ward. Got my wards up. So as a vampire, my health goes up and down really, really fast. But healing ward. Oh, I'm full health. Look at that. Hee hee hee. You can't kill me. Unless you're an archer. Where's the archer? Here we go. So let's try out some burst here. Crystal frags. Oh, that hit pretty hard. I just pulled the whole room. Well, let's see if this build really works then. Line of sight, immovable. Here we go. That's why I love me some bats. Now I got them low. Get some magic back. Look how much magic I'm getting out with these killing blows. Into a killing blow. Thank you. So I like that new morph of Endless Fury. It's tricky to play this way, but if you get it down and you swap bars often, you can really survive almost anything. Even when you pull mobs you're not supposed to. And if I were to switch this for PvE, which I probably will do like a Necromancer build, I would definitely go 2 pets toggled on and off, and then probably Inner Light. Still use Structured Entropy, it just hits way too hard not to use it. Obviously Crushing Shock, but this is in PvE or PvP when you're soloing around, or you have to stun targets. When you're doing high-end content, someone else is going to be worried about that. You know, you're doing fighting bosses. You don't have to stun them. But when we're doing our own thing, we have to. This archer here, that wants to one-shot us. Look at the range that we have, the burst when we have it on command. And remember, Crystal Frag still heals us, or with that Dark Magic passive. So I know people are upset about the change, but my health is just fine. Get my Absorb back up. Oh man, this is the Master Restoration Lightning Staff. It's so cool. That's 1,000 heal on a Crystal Frags proc. And that's not even critting. So you can have some good sustained self-heals, but you're really surviving with wards. We're getting close to the time we need to burst him down. Or her, I don't know. Looks pretty ugly. Into Sea Frags. Ooh, that hit hard. And that, my friends, is a Sorky Porky. So, a lot of fun. Streaking through is your main AoE. Otherwise, it's a lot of single target pressure and stuns. So you're streaking through to basically stun targets, picking off one target here and there with powerful crystal frags procs. So a lot of things are going to proc it. Don't feel free to cast structured entropy left, right, and center because you can cast it more targets. It's a super low cost ability. And then go back to your second bar all the time on your restoration staff and keep those wards up. Look how many things we killed. So it's hard, but once you get the hang of it, this Sorc is powerful, especially in PvP when you're zipping around with wards left and right. So hopefully you guys like this build. It's not the highest DPS. Definitely the pets are with basically the 2 wards, the 2 pets, and then inner light. I'm just not going to play that way right now with 3 or 4 toggleable abilities on. Hopefully you like this build. More to come and a full blown out guide later. On my Templar, Bubble Trouble's back. This is my main frontline defender, tank-ish type PvE, PvP character. I'm using an Imperial Templar, Sword and Shield, bow, and let's see what I've created so far. Templars are really in a really good place, especially if you're using stamina. My ability set up here, I use Shield Assault instead of Invasion now. I think that bubbles are going to be more important in the future, hence the name Bubble Trouble. I think that this leaping in with this ability and getting about a 3k damage shield is going to be more advantageous than 2 more seconds on a stun when people are just going to break it anyways. Number 2 is Biting Jabs. It now gives me Major Savagery, increasing my weapon critical, and also scales off of stamina. So for a medium armor build that I'm using, it's going to hit like a truck. And it's also going to nuke down that nearest enemy. Radiant Ward got a pretty big boost, and it's really tanky now, so I like this because it's based off my max health, and especially as an Imperial, this is amazing. And it takes magic damage when the shield is activated, so not necessarily a damage dealing component, more or less as a life-saving bubble. I took Absorb Magic too because it is based off my max health, and it's kind of stealthy when you use it, people don't recognize it. So being able, with no soft caps, being an Imperial, healing off of my max health is going to be really important. Number 2, Repentance. Radiant Aura got a super big nerf because of all the buffs and minors, debuffs and all that stuff. So right now it seems like Repentance is just way more superior. You know, when you were getting 80% stamina on command, great. But now that it's nerfed down to like 20 or 30, I'm going to take Repentance. Empowering Sweep, I like this for the damage mitigation. Once I said, this isn't big dog DPS numbers. This is more about surviving frontline fighter using stamina. But if you want to do DPS, you come to the back bar. I took the Unstoppable for my unCCable. You're not using PvP abilities, don't use this. Power of the Light, it now is an insta-cast and scales off of stamina. It's amazing. Oh, wow, Power of the Light is awesome now. Breath of Life, I still just got to have one emergency heal on the bar, so I like that. Lethal Arrow, this is my heal debuff since I'm not using Dark Flare because it's magic based, so I still like Lethal Arrow. And then Radiant Glory. I took this over Radiant Oppression just because I like the self-heal that I can get a finisher with, and I'm all about self-healing myself and staying alive. If I was a true DPS target, I would switch the Morph, obviously. And then I went with Meteor over Nova, just because I like the fast acting. It can nuke 1 target and 2, and it's going to hit where they land. So I like that better than Nova right now, especially for the reduced cost. So let's see how this plays out. Come on, guys, wake up. Wake up. You're not going to wake up? I must have killed you too fast. Oh, look at that. Look how cool is that? Look how powerful Puncturing Sweep is. I can just stun them all. They're all stunned. That's fine. Now, I am using the Engine Guardian set, this little guy that's giving me magic right now, and I want to show you why. When he dies, his corpse counts for repentance. So it's like a free way to get stamina. Where's that archer? We know there's an archer up here. We better use Radiant Oppression. Get some heals back. Oh, I'm out of magic. Thank you for your corpse. Peace! Templar for the win! Where's that little archer? Give me that archer. Another archer. Little bugger. Radiant Oppression! Thank you! No, you stop casting, sir. So powerful. Oh, Templar's powerful. We got an archer friend who wants to get nuked. And sniped your face. Oh, Templar finisher, baby. Even though I'm magic, it still hits like a truck. For now. That's the Templar. So you pick what you think is the best, but I like all of these builds so far. All of them feel pretty tanky. This isn't, like I said, some top-end DPS build, but it's enough to get you in the fight, tanky, and that's going to be like my new frontline defender, if you will, for PvP. So, what do you think? Is this a good Templar build? Let me know. Runes of Kardla on the Nightblade. This is kind of my Blade Runner sap build. Instead of sword and shield doing infinite block, you really now have to basically not block and find a way to get health back slowly or quickly as a Nightblade. So I went basically dual wield for this. The reason why is now in PvP or PvE, Blade Cloak gives you that awesome ring and it does damage to nearby enemies. You can go with the other one, which is like a free flying dagger, but this reduces the AoE damage that I'm going to take, and so it makes me a lot more tanky going into fights doing Sap Essence. I switched the morph from Ambush to Lotus Fan. I'm not using stamina, this is a magic based build. So it snares him, gives me a dot, still not that bad, but I like this leap over Invasion because I'm going to use stamina for my AoE damage reduction. Concealed Weapon makes me move faster, hits like a truck, so it's very good. Sap Essence is the main part of this build. Sapping, getting health back, and I went with Swallow Soul. I'm still testing Impale versus Swallow Soul, but the ability to get 8% more healing received all times with Sap is really important for this build. Lastly, Soul Tether. That got a major buff, and I love this ability, especially at 125 ultimate cost. Back bar, got my shadow image. Love, love, love the change of the shadow image. It's a free cast now. It's amazing, and it reduces target's damage. Removable Brute, unCCable, PvP. Once again, you're not doing that. Swap that out probably. Mass Hysteria, it's our fear. Got a boost. Love that when I'm overwhelmed by enemies. Healing Ward into a Shadowy Disguise. That's how I heal myself in this build. Basically without any legitimate heals. You have one right here. And then the ultimate is Ice Comet. If you haven't seen this yet, it is super powerful. So that's why I have my back bar. So let's go see how the Willy does. Watch this new shadow image. Oh, that's so cool. Alright, so we're going to dump our stamina. Ice Comet in here. Sap time, baby. So if you like playing this sap build, you can still do it. Gotta find that archer before you get killed. Where's that archer? Soul Tether! Boom! I definitely dropped Vampire for this guy. So even with dual, I'm still pretty tanky. Now I don't have the burst that I usually do with the other abilities, but what I want to play is a tanky kind of Nightblade, which is kind of weird to say, but that's how I want to play mine. So that's how I built him. Oh yeah, Soul Tether, baby. No, you don't, little archer. No, you don't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't try to kill me. Taking aim. That's a sound we don't like to hear. Look at Sap, though. Look at this. And see ya. Oh, man. Nightblade. So much fun. This is so far like one of the tankier builds, I think. So So now if you wanted more burst, you definitely could go with Impale. That's going to give you a lot more burst, but I like the range, especially with daggers. The range that I get with that soul, whatever, soul biscuit, whatever the hell it's called. Soul tether! I know what that one's called. I just love that. Swallow Soul. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. It's like such a common ability. Oh man, this is so fun. You see that little purple beam? That's one of the 2-piece sets that I had on PTS. That is the Malleable Scourge, so it gives me like increased 30% healing when that thing's out. So that's the whole premise of the build, right? Is increased healing and being sustainable. But I do miss Impin. Or I mean, I do miss Impale. It's a tough decision which one you use. Because right now you could be finishing. So, doesn't have the burst, but it has the survivability. You want more burst, definitely go Killer's Blade or Impale. Impale for magic. And if you wanted more survivability in a Zerg, definitely go Swallow Soul. But as you can see, I had a blast with this build. It's a lot of fun and it's really tanky. And it's still elusive with your back bar. So hopefully you guys like this. This is Blade Runner. I know the graphic says One Shot Willy, but I'm working on a stamina build for that.